you're waiting until you're finished. The people following you don't need your polished version, they need your honest one. Sit with that, because part of you probably just got very quiet. Welcome to Daily Power Boost. I'm Sean Michael. This isn't a podcast about pushing harder or fixing yourself. It's a space to see clearly how your experience is actually being created. Each episode offers a simple shift in understanding, not a tactic, not a hustle, a clearer view of thought, identity, and the patterns you've been living inside. Because when misunderstanding drops, relief rises, energy returns. You move forward with calm, sovereign clarity. This is your Daily Power Boost. I want you to think about the last time you walked into a room, a team meeting, perhaps a client conversation, that hard conversation with someone you care about, and you led with the version of yourself that had it together, composed, clear, already past the doubt and through the hard part. Underneath that, something else was running, a fear you hadn't named, part of the picture you were quietly hoping nobody would ask about. You didn't lie, but you didn't show up either, not fully. The gap between where you are and where you want to be gets talked about constantly. That's not where we're going today. We're going to the identity underneath the gap, the one that decided the gap itself was something to hide. High-performing leaders have a waiting problem. I don't mean waiting for the right moment or better resources. They're waiting to be seen until they feel complete, until that version of themselves that they're becoming has fully arrived. In the meantime, they're performing the version that already has. I know this because I've lived it. There was a season when I was building something I genuinely believed in, and genuinely was uncertain whether I was the right person to build it. Instead of leading from that tension, I covered it, showed up to every conversation with confidence I was borrowing from somewhere I couldn't name. I said the right things. I held the room. The whole time, I was watching myself from a slight distance, waiting for the real version of me to catch up with the one people were responding to. What I didn't understand then, the waiting was the problem, not the uncertainty. The uncertainty was honest. The performance around it was costing me something I couldn't get. The chance to model what it actually looks like to grow in real time. So let's name what's actually running underneath all of it. It's not perfectionism or imposter thoughts, though those are the words people usually reach for. At the identity level, the belief doing the work is this: I'm only credible when I'm complete. It sounds like professionalism, presents like high standards. What it's actually doing is keeping you hidden behind a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet, while asking people to follow you there. Notice if something in you just pushed back on. That's the belief protecting itself. The unfinished version of you, it's not a liability. It's the most honest thing you have. The leaders people actually trust, the ones people follow, not because they have to, but because they want to, they haven't got it all figured out first. They're the ones willing to be seen in the middle of figuring it out. This belief isn't a character flaw. It's just a survival strategy. It made sense at one time, probably in a room where uncertainty wasn't safe to show. Problem is, you've carried it into rooms where it's not just unnecessary, it's actively in the way. When this belief starts to lose its grip, here's what actually shifts. You stop editing before you speak, not because you stopped caring about clarity, because you trust that the person across from you can receive you in process. You walk into the hard conversation without rehearsing every possible version of how it might go. You say, "I don't have that answer yet," and the room doesn't collapse. You notice it'll actually settle. Your team stops looking to you for certainty and starts looking to you for direction. These aren't the same thing. Certainty is a performance. Direction is a choice. You stop arriving at conversations already past the struggle and arrive at the struggle with the people. Something in the relationship changes because of it. The work doesn't get smaller, the pretending does. The energy you were spending maintaining the finished version of yourself becomes available for something that actually matters. One question to carry out of this episode. What are you waiting to be finished with before you let yourself be seen? Don't answer it too fast. Just notice what comes up when you ask it honestly. If something landed for you today, or if you recognize the pattern I named, that recognition is worth following. Tomorrow we go one layer deeper into the belief underneath the performance, what it is, where it started, and why it sounds so much like your own voice. You won't want to miss it. The unfinished version of you is the most powerful one you have if you let people see it. With strength and heart, I'm Shawn Michael. Stay close. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Power Boost. Ignite your potential. Remember, transformation starts with action. So take today's insight, make it your own, and awaken your inner potential. Because remember, greatness begins within. Catch you tomorrow for your next Power Boost.